Welcome, Legion. Today I want to talk to you guys about managing your body composition when you're injured. So we have to be careful that when we get injured, that we don't get into this lull. We don't start to feel sorry for ourselves. We need to use it as an opportunity. Right? So we can take advantage, we can actually take a lot of control of what we do to help ourselves get back from injury. And nutrition is a really big part of this. Often gets overlooked as we're obviously focusing heavily on the actual training to get back, the physiotherapy, and all these great things that are actually going to help us get back. But the nutrition can actually help the healing process, so it can help us heal a little bit quicker. And then two, it can actually fuel this training that we're going to be going through, because oftentimes rehabilitation can be almost a harder training stimulus than actual sports training or even competition itself. We've got to work hard to get ourselves back. So we've got to be careful when we get injured to one, not get complacent and start to binge eat and start eating terrible food just because we feel sorry for ourselves and woe is me, I'm injured, I can relax now, I'm going to be out for a while. It's not a good idea to have to go so far backwards then to pull yourself through the mud to get yourself back into shape. You should be able to maintain your shape pretty comfortably with a few simple strategies. The first one is to definitely not eat too much, okay? Now this comes with a bit of a caveat because we need to also eat enough to aid in repair. So if we undereat, we can be potentially impairing some of our recovery processes. But if we eat too much, and too much poor quality food, we can obviously start to gain a little bit of body fat. Now this can be a little bit impactful for when we actually want to return to sport. And if we weigh a little bit heavier and that extra weight isn't muscle mass, it isn't lean mass, and we haven't really improved, or we haven't increased our strength enough to tolerate that extra weight gain, then potentially we're at a bit of risk for a re-injury or even potentially a new injury. So we have to be careful to create this balance. Interestingly enough, that when we get injured, our basal metabolic rate, so our metabolic rate without exercise, actually increases a little bit to help with this repair process. Shuttles more nutrients, we've got more blood flow to that injured area. Obviously, because we have stopped normal training, our potential energy expenditure through exercise volume has now reduced a little bit because we're obviously probably not training as much as what we were before. So it's important to measure your body composition. All right, I think it's important to measure your body composition on a regular basis anyway, just to see how things are tracking along. But when we get injured, I think it's important to measure it at the start of the injury and just monitor it as you're going, depending on how long the injury is going to go for. Really, we probably just needed to stay stable. You don't necessarily need to decrease body fat unless that was a part of you getting injured in the first place. We don't necessarily need to decrease. I think the other part that I look at it is your lean muscle mass or your lean mass. Just making sure that we're not losing too much muscle tissue. It obviously can happen if it's a bad enough injury and an area is mobile for long enough, we're going to see some atrophy. Atrophy is essentially just muscle wastage. We will get this back with good rehabilitation, and that's fine. But I think it's a good idea just to measure our body composition, check in where the body fat levels are at, check in where the lean muscle mass is at. Try and keep them as stable as possible. Best case scenario, if we're going through the injury process and we're coming towards the back end of that injury process and we are a leaner and more muscular athlete, we're better. We've improved. We should come out of rehab and be 10 times better than we were when we entered, which is a massive goal of ours when we're trying to help our athletes return to play. This is obviously going to increase their relative strength, which is really important for sports performance. The best athletes in the world have the best relative strength. They're the ones that can handle their body with high forces. So the stronger and leaner you are, the better you're going to be in the long run. All right, thanks for that, guys.